Alright, it is Sunday night, May 22nd, 9:14 p.m. So this is the second stream of today. Let me adjust the exposure on the camera. Alright, there we go. That's all good. Hey, Brett Hudson, how is it going? Thanks for joining us. So, I'm doing some level design. After this, I'm going to stream for about hour and a half, and then I am going to make a quick 3-minute video. I'm going to try doing some video logs about the development of the game. How are you doing, man? How's the weekend going? I tuned into your stream a bit. You were making a game with a friend, I believe. And we are listening to the SimCity 3000 soundtrack. Alright, so. Domain name, you're getting ahead of yourself there. I think some people think I stream too much. Yeah, I want to try to get into sort of like a good routine for making them, you know, and especially because I gotta get some B-roll for E3 anyway. You know, since I'm recording that, I thought I might as well cut together, since so many people have questions about what's the gameplay, where is the game at. Yeah, in that case, definitely. So. Cool, and how's your weekend been? I was playing, had some dinner and I was playing Infamous Second Son. It's a pretty interesting game. Well, you know, it's sort of a very typical game dev, AAA game. Hey, what's up, LQS? Yes. I might be getting dependent on streaming in order to work, but it is a really, really good motivator. So, yeah. I mean, you know, they're pretty standard AAA third-person action adventure games. Uh, you know, with a lot of moments where they don't let you take away the control. So you like, if you're inside, they don't let you shoot anything. Ton of cutscenes. Uh, you know, guy on walkie-talkie trying to talk to you. LQS, why are you not? Why are you not going to sleep? 3:20 is late. Are you trying to stay up to catch a flight? Yeah. I mean, ultimately for me, it's just at the end of the day, you know, I am enjoying streaming a lot, and rotoscoping for about 5 hours. Oh man, I see. So you're basing that on live footage. I guess that's the definition of rotoscoping. I'm working on this game. I've been working on some server program for a client. Never worked at ASP.NET or used Microsoft SQL Server software. Interesting. Bit of a learning curve. Well, you know, it's always good to be learning. What's that thing that Steve Jobs once said? You're either reinventing yourself or you're dying. And but yeah, it's pretty much you know, infamous. It's pretty standard, but they do a few interesting things that I think is kind of cool. One of the things being that, well, there was one moment where, like, when you first get the power, you like still don't know how to use it, and then what they do is every direction you move in, you take 2 or 3 additional steps, and it's a pretty cool thing because you go from, you know, normally you're totally in control of the movement, but then you're all of a sudden you're going like, oh, this character isn't behaving the way I want them to, which is very much, it's mostly interesting because that's sort of what the on-screen character is experiencing as well. Yeah, but then it does a lot of the like standard AAA stuff that I get frustrated about, which is kind of over tutorializing, and they keep trying to, I think, one thing that's interesting is they keep trying to get you to use the touchpad. So they're like, open a door, swipe left, and it's like I feel like Sony was really trying to push the touchpad with this game. Like, you know, a lot of times when you felt like you could just, they have all these like mini things, like you put your finger on a scanner, like your character's got to put your finger on a scanner, put their hand on a scanner, and it would like make you move your finger on the touchpad. I don't know, it felt a little more forced. Half-Life 2 Episode 2, there's a scene where you, hey, by the way, PFS, hello. Kind of powerful threat that used telekinesis to pin you against a wall. Feels really visceral when it's executed. Oh, I have to check that out. Yeah, like most of the time when they do it in AAA games, it's because the story doesn't let you, like, they don't let you use your power. Whoa, Jonah Loeb did the K-Pulv does it, streams, yes. K-Pulv's a very good streamer. Someone I really enjoy rating. Okay, you know what? I might make this a little bit smaller. Okay, I actually was not aware of K-Paul's blog. But, I mean, puzzles, levels, I don't know. I think in terms of puzzles, probably like maybe about 100. And levels, there's like 20 levels scattered throughout. The Toxic Man 1, hello. How many puzzles have I scrapped? Oh, I don't keep track, but I'm sure plenty. The Toxic Man 1, I've not seen you here before. Welcome to the stream. By the way, if you're new, feel free to introduce yourself. Tell us a bit about what you do. If you are a game developer? Sarcasmosis, thank you for the follow and welcome to the channel. How are you doing tonight, Sarcasmosis? I think I'm pronouncing that right. Yeah, I don't keep track of the number of puzzles I've scrapped, you know. You like cats? Watch a lot of game development. Oh, very cool. White Rice, hello. And Snow State, hello. Sarcasmosis, that's okay. Well, welcome. Awesome. So if is anyone new here to the stream? If you are, let me know and I'll just show a bit of gameplay. Kind of talk a bit about what the game is about, but right now I'm kind of finishing up lining things here at this puzzle. How did I come up with puzzles first and then development? No, so you have to develop the mechanic first in order to base the puzzles on that, right? So it was the mechanic first, and then the puzzles after. The base mechanic of walking on different surfaces, that came first. Anyway, if you're new, this is I'm sort of making this game inside Unity. We're using a plugin called Pro Builder for all the modeling. So yeah, like originally the idea was that the room rotated instead of the player. As a result of the room rotation, though, it was actually very difficult to do level design because that meant like all the boxes, after the first rotation, they'd all end up in the corner, right? They'd all end up, and then like it just kind of, it didn't matter how you place things, all of that would just get destroyed as soon as the player rotated first. And it wasn't very interesting. I mean, there were some interesting moments, but there were too many problems, so I changed it to where because also it's like, what I wanted was that you change your perspective of a problem. The problem stays the same, but your perspective of it becomes different, right? So that more makes sense with the environment staying still, but the player changing. If you have the player staying still and the environment changing, that's more like you're changing the problem and not so much your perspective of it, which was not what I wanted the message, the meaning of the mechanic to be. So yeah, I do mechanic first, and you see if you can get interesting puzzles. Hey, Renundius, hello. How you doing on this fine Sunday evening, or possibly Monday morning, depending on where you are. It's really cool. We have a lot of people from a lot of very different time zones, and that's pretty awesome. Yeah, changing the world feels, which is not quite the message that I was trying to convey, right, with the game. So that, anyway, just that those were sort of the design concerns with there that I had considered. Well, hopefully we're gonna start to get I can't wait for you to get lost in it. Yeah. Sarcosmosis, where did you first find out about the game? I'm kind of curious about how people learn about games. Mostly for me, it's mainly through Twitter. Personality to the player, or is it unexplained? I'm sorry, what do you mean? Is there any kind of personality to the player? I'm not sure what you mean by that, actually. Oh, so Mirror's Edge and Overwatch are coming out on the same day, right? Interesting. That train is very loud. Played Anti-Chamber for 26 hours a day. It came out, so it's pretty important to find this level of innovation and different thinking for me. That is awesome. Sarcosmos this game is different than Anti-Chamber, but I think if you like that game, you will really like this game. I'd love to get your feedback on it. Yes. Yeah, it's Anti-Chamber with. If you've played, have you played Naissance by any chance? Naissance, it's got this kind of brutalist architecture. It's not not really a puzzle game. It's a first-person game where you go through this giant underground structure. Zero expectations from other games. So what does that statement mean? How did you own Antichamber before it came out? Oh, no, wait, because Antichamber came out January 2013. Holy cow, that's a long time ago. Yeah, I had the idea for this game before I learned about Antichamber, because I wasn't in games before. And I was just like, man, it would be really cool to make a game based on MC Escher's work. And then I saw Antichamber, and I was like, oh shit, it's already been done. But it didn't have the wall walking, which is kind of mainly what I was working with. But yeah, there hasn't quite been another game like Antichamber since that came out. Like, super weird mindfuck game. Overwatch comes out in 2 days. Isn't that the same day Mirror's Edge comes out? Have you been playing Overwatch? I don't, so I very rarely play online multiplayer games. Or local multiplayer for that matter. But yeah, like, I'm not a super competitive person. Overwatch is phenomenal. Oh, June 7th. Why did I think it was May 24th? Interesting. Why is Overwatch phenomenal? Just out of curiosity. Because it's not a free game, or is it a free game? I see that a lot of people are really into it. Like, for me, I see games much more as a conversation with me and the designer. So, like, other players doesn't really factor into that conversation for me. But I know some designers are much more interested in sort of the interactions that happen between players in games. Like, I don't even know if I see myself as a game designer, more as like an experience designer. Or a world designer. Like, I think this has much more in common with, you know, theme park design than chess, for example. Whereas I feel like Overwatch is probably more similar to chess than theme park. Wait, it takes all the parts that make MOBAs very toxic and bad? Right, so I'm confused. You say it takes the bad parts of MOBAs and adds it to the TF2, and that makes it phenomenal? MOBA stands for multi-on... What does MOBA stand for again? Right. Oh, gets rid of the bad stuff. Like, although, you know, the other day I was playing Bloodborne and I got into a level... oh, interesting. I got it. Anyway, I was in Bloodborne, and there happened to be... There was one level where they force multiplayer to you. And that was actually a very interesting experience. Or maybe the guy just invaded. I don't know. There was like a bell something, but it was actually a lot of fun to play that. But that's almost more of a test of your Bloodborne combat skills. Takes everything bad. No. There are other... It was like this other guy. He was like in red. I have fought the other hunters. Yeah, I think it's like in the... When you go into the Nightmare Realm, there's like some woman ringing a bell. Nightmare Frontier. Those guys are fake too? What? I'm pretty sure it had someone else's name. Really? You sure? Pretty sure it was somebody else. That would be weird. Because he was healing. Well, actually, I guess some of the other hunters heal too. Yeah. And those are fake? They're not actual online people? What the fuck? Interesting. Hi, son of G-Days, how's it going? Leroy Jenkins. Oh, interesting. Game is coming along well. How are you doing? I've got it. It's more, I figured out the sequence in these puzzles. Hello, Dark Kajin, by the way. It's more that, there's just kind of lining things up correctly. So, it's a bit of a pain. Cool jazz tunes. Yes, we were listening to the SimCity 3000 soundtrack, which is very good, actually. It turns out. God damn, man. God, this is so fucking hard. This game. It's actually pretty awesome they chose jazz. It's such like a big city music, and I think it works so well here. Yes, we've got quite a few. I'm getting better at getting all the commands. I think my favorite command is this. I get that question about the blue gloves so often that I just added that. I'm not getting paid by Softflex or anything. Just to be clear. Yeah, if you were always like, "What's that? What's that on your wrists?" And I'd explain, and then they'd be like, "What's the link?" And I have to type that, and so I just got rid of it completely. Oh boy. Oh boy. Did about over 400 hours of hand-drawn animation. Really, my wrists were so bad I could have. Well, the thing is, they're mostly for typing though, because all these are is these two padding, kind of like sponge-like pieces, and all it is it's preventing you from putting pressure on the median nerve, which is where a lot of people. Because it's whichever ones are active. All right, it depends on which gravity, right? So, and what it is the shader sets it based on your last gravity. So the reason why the other ones are unfilled is because the gravity you start off in is in the blue gravity. So these end up. So like often when I'm testing out the game, I'm. Yeah, not a big fan of this. We're gonna need a bigger. Okay, you know what? I think we are going to need a larger. This part needs to be a little. I need more surface area here to play with. Hope you're okay. Yeah, like the shader it doesn't reset during this. It just sort of sets whatever it was at runtime. Damn, that sucks. Yeah, you gotta be careful about that. I now always sit in chairs that don't have backs because I found with backs, I was like, you know, I see a lot of you know, when I'm watching, I see a lot of streamers. They all seem to have those, like, they all seem to have that same chair, some kind of gaming chair. And I don't think it's actually good to be able to lean back on chairs like that. Yes, I believe if I were to, yes, Dark Kajin, that is right. If I were to flip and then come back out, it's the purple-orange ones would be filled. The DX Racer Conspiracy? Is that what those chairs are? I just see them everywhere. It's actually quite interesting because they always have the green screen, and then it ends up being just them in the chair. Zentric Q2T. I don't think they're good though. I don't think it's good to have chairs with backs on. Like if you have a chair without a back, you end up having to develop like good core muscle and keep. You know, I can't lean back and have bad posture. I do have a standing desk. It's a sit-stand desk. So sometimes there have been streams where I'm standing. Well, you know, I personally don't think they're very... I don't think one should wear them. Yeah, it looks like all the partners have them. Whoa, God. Alright, so my problem here is I need more surface area. Like... Or I could get rid of these base. I have a chair with a back, but it keeps the back as far down as possible so that I have to sit up. You have a standing sitting desk? What? You don't want a desk on public transit. Hey, Ibit Talks, how's it going? Well, you came just in time because I was just about to hit play mode. So, I'm William, and I'm a game designer, game developer, currently working on my first game. It's called Manifold Garden. It's been in development for about 3.5 years. It's coming out on PlayStation 4 and PC sometime within the next 12 months. First-person exploration puzzle game. The intro. Wait. But yeah, we're kind of working inside Unity to work with this game, to make this game, and I'll jump back. I'm gonna hit play mode, and you can kind of see for yourself what this game is about. By the way, Ibit Talks, what brings you to the channel today? Are you randomly browsing Twitch, or did you come from the land of Twitter? Momo01, hi, how's it going? Oh, I see. That's a big desk. It's got to be very portable. You know, what I've said is that a clipboard is just a portable desk. So this is a very big scene, so it takes a while to load. But you're a game dev wannabe. Your name is Ib. You're from Mexico, and I sometimes browse the game dev channels in Twitch. Bienvenida. Ib talks. I was in Bolivia many years ago, so I speak a bit of Spanish, but it's been a long time. But anyway, yeah, that's very cool. Have you worked with Unity or any game engine? Yeah, so this is I don't know if you guys have seen the movie Inception, but where they fold Paris in half, you can walk up to a surface and you can change the direction. And not only that, but the gravity is... Hey, Alien237, greetings. Hello. How is it? Is it Monday morning in Madrid? How you doing? And we just had Iba Talks from Mexico just joined us. And Alien237. So you can see the world repeats itself. So we're gonna go into no clip. Yeah, so one of the design problems I'm facing right now... doesn't feel as good. So, what do you guys think of these? The problem, so you can see these are the bases, but this base... Yeah, so this base is taking up too much surface. Hey, Dicloni, welcome, thank you for the follow. You can't sleep. It's terrible. No pueden dormir. That is, so, the problem with this base is it takes up too much space and it's a little bit difficult for me to work with. So I'm changing it to this, but it doesn't look as good. And I'm kind of wondering what do you guys think? Like, this gives me more space to put it in, but I'm not as big of a fan. It is. So I'm just keeping it. It just doesn't have that. By the way, I think someone just followed and I missed them. Silvio Gruel, thank you for the follow, and welcome to the channel. I know, I like the hourglass shape too. It looks better, but I don't know what to do with a ray of light, maybe? No, it's that, like, I need a small base. Oh, I would still need the larger base, though. Maybe I can have a smaller base. Well, Alien237, thanks for joining us. Even though you can't sleep tonight. Unfortunately, I do use Ray of Light for stuff. So, that's kind of what I'm trying to figure out right now. I'm not sure what your question is. Yes, who's here from the EU? Yeah, if you're new, feel free to introduce yourself. Tell us about where you're from, what you're up to. You know, we have a really great community here of game developers of all different levels. I might maybe just make it a little bit smaller. Who here is from the EU, by the way? I think maybe that's a bit better. We get a bit of and it gives me a little more room, not much, but I think maybe just enough. I am from the EU. Son of Judays, where in the EU are you from? Oh, LQ is from UK. Really like the flow with guide range. Hey, Digloni, but wait, welcome. And thank you for the follow earlier. And how did you find out about the channel? SimCity, yes, indeed. Ibit Talks, SimCity 3000. Yeah, that music is very, very good. I mean, it's just good working music, you know. And it's like, because it's game music, it's like okay if you play it and YouTube doesn't. Otherwise, like if you play popular music, it gets silenced on Twitch in the archives, which is a bit annoying. But you know, like Infinifactory, Sims, SimCity, all that music is sort of made to like, well, you kind of think and do stuff, and that's really cool. So really enjoy that. Yes. If it talks, what kind of game are you hoping to make? Alright, Son of G-Days is from Germany. LQ is from UK. Yeah, you know, I think this is okay. No, wait, that's a different one. Okay, I think this gets at it. Like, it gives me a smaller base, and I think it still has that hourglass shape. So, you know, we are going to keep this. Yeah, because I like the hourglass shape. And I think this gives it a bit of direction. You know, like, it's still... I think it's more interesting than having top and bottom be even. Fable 2 Zelda kind of game. Really love that genre. The genre third-person action adventure. Yeah. Got tired of it, so I started watching streams, and yeah, here I am. Oh, cool! And Dick Loney, did you... I hope I'm pronouncing it right. Did you know about the game before? And what are you doing level design for? Right. Yes. That's. I wasn't thinking that, but now that you've pointed it out, I'll take. So yeah, because like, see, this piece is going into that, but now this allows me to move this base into here. Ba-bum. Student at oh, very nice, Vancouver Film School, working as a freelance game artist. I see. You know, Vancouver has a fantastic indie game scene. Crypt of the Necrodancer, Darkest Dungeon, Viking Squad, Towerfall. Man, they've been just winning all the awards. So yeah, if you're that's a very nice place. Oh, so Vancouver is beautiful. I was there for SIGGRAPH about 2 years ago. You know, I grew up in Toronto, and everybody will always be like, "Oh, Vancouver's really not that great." And then I went and no, it's like no, people would say Vancouver was really beautiful, and I'd always be like, "Nah, I think they're just over. It's all hyperbole." And then I went, and it is gorgeous, with the mountain and the ocean all right there. Full indie, yes, that's right. There's also full indie. So just a ton of game dev events. Yeah, no, I usually tend they're kind of new in town. Awesome. Cool. Hey, Decloni, did you know about this game before? Yeah, mostly just curious how people find out about Manifold Garden. They do. They are a bit Tetris inspired. Oh, fuck. So tomorrow morning I got a new programmer that's starting. Oh, first time seeing it. Well, welcome. That's awesome. So Twitch is effective. Yeah, I've been streaming development here for a while. Hey, Ding Game Sean. Yeah. You know, I'm so thankful for that Dark Kajin, because like last, when I went to PlayStation Experience, the first one back in 2014, it was like nobody knew about the game, and it was like I was in Las Vegas and was so sad, but now I think the art style is getting attention, and I'm doing a lot of stuff like. Sony supported it, taking it to E3, and there's been some press coverage, Kotaku, Rock, Paper, Shotgun. I'm still working on it, yeah, because I want to get this level done first. I want to capture some B-roll. The thing is, with the levels not done, then if you fly around, you can see like little blocks missing. And that trailer's going to be around for a while, so I prefer to... And it's not due until... I don't have to get it done until Tuesday. So I like to just make sure that the level is done first. Besides, I need to capture some B-roll as well for E3, so might as well get all of that, kind of do that all together. And then, of course, tonight I'm going to do the... YouTube video log. I'm gonna start doing that, weekly updates, because I know there's people who aren't able to catch a stream due to like time zone issues, and then also people who can't catch a stream because their internet connection just isn't that great. And I think this would sort of awesome, man. Awesome. Dude, Cloney, thanks for coming by. Yeah, and I was looking at Wolfire, and, like, so, look at this. They've got, they've been doing these video logs, and they're so cool. But if you look at some of them, I mean, this is like, look at this. 208 change, and there's been... There's so many... That's 130,000 views. That's like... That's more than all the views I've gotten on my trailer. So I think the idea is just trying to like give myself more opportunities for people to talk about the game, more opportunities to create content, trying to do... I think streaming kind of really encouraged me that, because it's like, I think there are a lot of people who are interested in the behind the scenes, and you know, I a lot of... Prior to this, it was so dependent when I was just starting to make this game in 2012. It seemed like the focus was getting... Oh, you don't know Overgrowth? Dude, that game's been in development since 2008. Wolfire, it's like this rabbit game, and Lugar, it's like a sequel to Lugar, but that game's been in development. It's like one of the earliest games, indie games to be announced. It's been in development since 2008. They're the guys that started Humble Bundle. Interesting. So that's probably what's been able to fund their development, but like there was clips of it in Indie Game the Movie. Right, it's to get awareness of this game, of a game outside of other indie game developers. So the thing is, it's like this: when I was starting out, and I think Twitch is a really great opportunity for that, right? Because you have like gamers browsing and stuff, but also. Like when I started, it was like, okay, you gotta get you want to try to get press. You want to get Polygon and Rock Paper Shotgun and IGN, and you know, I email Polygon when I have the name change. They don't respond, and like it's like if you want to sort of keep development quiet and then try to do this big splash, you gotta sort of hope that these like websites like Polygon. You know, they'll write about Notch buying a new house, but, which is like, I guess that's game news. But then it's like, if I have new developments of this game, they're not gonna write it. I don't know if they'll write about it, right? Like when I emailed them, I don't hear back. And so, to me, as an indie, putting all my eggs in a basket that depends on press is just too risky. So for me, I rather kind of build an audience on my own, you know, and I think it's small, right? It's not, I don't have the reach, but that's better because I know people who are following the game are people who are actually interested in the game. So that's how I'm approaching it. But yeah, in-game Sean, you're absolutely right. How do you get out from that indie bubble and actually reach gamers? That is a challenge. Anyway, I'm open to ideas if any of you have thoughts on that. But I'm more curious how come there aren't more indie devs sort of doing something similar. I don't see a lot of indie devs streaming development, and I don't see a lot of going to sleep. Okay, Son of G-Days, thanks for stopping by. This is great having you here. Right. Well, cool. Thanks. I mean, I'm really, and I think, you know, I came to realize, like, I think one thing is a lot of indies are still looking at AAA game marketing as sort of examples of what to do, and I think one of the things is like, well, you know, I'm making this game on my own. Oh, wow, wonderful. That's awesome. Like, I was thinking, it's like, you know, I'm not a corporation, right? So I don't have, you know, $1 million in the bank to buy ad space to let people know. But I think a lot of indies are still sort of using that model, but as an individual, it's like, well, you can just be a normal person. Like, you're not some faceless corporation, and I don't get to see what the making of Assassin's Creed is like. And I think that's super fascinating, and I think a lot of people would be interested in that. Not Assassin's Creed specifically, I think there are a lot of games. Like, I'd love to see how From Software does things. Yes, yeah. But you start there, right? So, like, you kind of use that as a way, because some, like, indie devs make games, and the people that play those games, maybe some of them find out about the indie devs, so there, and then they find out about this. You know, like, it's hard. It is sort of not directly reaching that, but there is, but yeah. If you had more reach, you'd probably try it out yourself. There's a Twitch stream that exclusively features other streams. What do you mean by that? Be the system instead of being a part of the system. Actually, can you clarify that? I'm not 100% sure what you mean. Oh, so Ding Game Sean, like, what do you think would be your way of reaching out? Because, you know, it's like, so some people, like, the way I see it is like, okay, you know, the guys from, you know, people who are interested, who really like Fez, they follow Phil Fish, and then if Phil Fish recommends this game, then, you know, they hear about that. Or, like, if people really like The Witness or Braid, and even if they're not developers, like, I really like, the way I find out about films is sort of recommendations based on film directors I like. You know, I really like Wong Kar-wai, and if he suggests a film, more like Tarantino, right, he talks about films that he likes, and a lot of people discover things that way. Oh, but I mean, like, the Twitch homepage sort of does that. I mean, that's basically what the Twitch homepage does. I don't think there's a Twitch stream that does that, because it ends up being just not, like, why would you follow that Twitch stream channel when it's not, when they don't create content? Ah, that's okay, Declony. That's totally fine. Out of curiosity, what's your first language? But yeah, no worries. I don't think so. I don't know if I would watch Polygon streams. I think the way hosting works is more like you have to have your own and you have to stream yourself. Ah, Turkish. Very C. Yeah, but you know, that's basically, Brett, that's basically what the Twitch feature is. That's what the Jumbotron is. Like, if you see here, you know, like, a lot of the audience came about, like, when you're on the creative channel, you have this Jumbotron, and you know, there's people cooking, and you can see I'm one of, like, sometimes it's obviously the best spot is to when you're the first one, but You can even see in game dev, I end up being automatically the first Jumbotron showcase, and I think so. I think what you're talking about, basically, Twitch does that through discovery. But you know, the game dev channel is still very, very small. But yeah, they have features. Yeah, like when Twitch started featuring me on the creative section, that's when I got like, you know, 100 viewers. I think you need the balance between getting exposure and being overhyped. I wish I had a good answer for how to get broader reach. I don't think there's a single silver bullet for it. As in India, I think we have to shotgun blast everything everywhere and just hope that... Yeah, right. But I think you can also do that. You can help yourself, right? Like, for me, streaming and like, trying to build my own audience and a community of people who are interested in the game through devlog as opposed to relying solely on press, I think that's very helpful, because it's more... You're sort of taking your destiny into your own hands, I suppose, and not relying so much on the whim of, like, a particular editor, right? And trying to ask the reason why people are watching your content and not have another site be the reason. I didn't know each individual category had a feature. I only thought that exists on the homepage. No, each individual does it. Right, be the reason why people are watching on the content and not have another site be the reason. Yes. I mean, I think a lot of devs don't do it because it just takes a long time, right? It takes a long... It takes time to build your own audience, to take the grassroots approach, but... yeah. LQS says, I think you need the balance between getting exposure and being overhyped. The behind-the-scenes content is great because it connects you to the audience and they become part of the journey. Yeah, and I think this is like... I think streaming development is a very good way to not be overhyped, because people... I'm just like, well, this is what... I can just show you what the game is right now, not like... like, you can get a very clear look of it, and you can get... I think the problem with overhyped is not meeting people's expectations. But I would love to see Hello Games. I know, like, people talk about them as being overhyped, but I don't know about that. I'm super interested in No Man's Sky. I wish they'd stream. Like, I think they're doing some amazing tech, and it'd be so cool to see behind the scenes there. Also, Sean Murray seems like the nicest guy. Yeah, but trying to get more devs to start streaming. I think it's also just a really great way to answer people's questions about the game. Like, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, none of them are as good as streaming because you're just right there in the editor. Alright, I think we're almost there. Yeah, I like the hourglass base. Ding Game Sean, By the way, I don't think you've. Are you working at your game? I'm assuming you're a game developer as well. What are you working on? Yeah, being indie's hard. You know, obscurity is the hardest part as an indie. Alright, let's see here. Let's move this piece. What we're doing is we're just kind of going around and making sure all of these pieces are set up correctly. How much do you feel creative pressure? I'm not sure what that means. Can you clarify a bit? Like, are you saying when people are watching me to how much do I feel pressure to show them something good? Or, yeah. We just scrapped our latest project a few weeks ago and started over. We way over scope. We're working on what I would call a cross between Mega Man and 1000 Spikes. Just finished our first prototype this weekend, testing moveset initial. Okay, cool. Who are you? How big's the team? Creative pressure. Yeah, I'm like, what, yeah, I to be honest, I almost feel more, I actually feel more financial pressure than creative pressure. And that's a strange thing to say, but we're in... I mean, I wish I didn't feel that way, but we're in a world where sales numbers seems to be very important, and you know, you have sites like Steam Spy that can pretty much give you an idea of how many units a game sold, and it's like, you know, my peers are gonna look, I don't know, I do feel like people pay attention to developers that have been financially successful regardless of the game. Yeah, not too much. I mean, I try not to let, that's not my primary motivation, but just in terms of like pressure that I feel, it's like I feel like I have to sell. I really, you know, I want to sell this many units. I mean, there's also like a certain number of units that I need to sell in order for the game to, for me to recoup my expense and for the game to be profitable. So there's pressure on that level. But yeah, I'm not too sure what you mean by creative pressure, but 4 of us, 5th on site, all part-time. Oh yeah. Cool. And Dingame and Sean, are you what's your role on the team? designer, developer. Very cool. Well, Sean, man, I wish you all the best with the development of that and the new project. It sounds cool. I know. I know John Blow is a big fan of 1000 Spikes, so you might be interested in sending it out to him. Oh wait, it's a 3D game? Friend is a 3D artist. Oh, right. Yeah, he did that. You were there. That seemed like a really great talk, by the way. Yeah, John's a really good speaker. There is no denying that. Alright guys, it's 10:36. I have been streaming for about an hour and a half, so I am going to wrap up the stream here. And I will continue tomorrow, but we got most of it is in place, which I think is quite good. Like I'm going to first remove this guy and move this piece in here as an example. gonna be a bit tricky. Anyway, I will see you guys tomorrow. So thanks for stopping by and hanging out tonight. Hope you all had a good weekend. And okay, cool. Well, for that's what we're gonna do the YouTube. So I'm gonna actually take a break, play a bit of Infamous Second Son, and then do a bit of video recording of this. So anyway, thank you for stopping by. See you guys later.